need to look at it from the spiritual perspective as well as the UFO perspective, and realize that, you know, if it's doing something good, then why be afraid of it? You know, I've never felt afraid. I've never felt afraid of any of these encounters ever. So that's pretty much it, though.
Can I share a little thing with you? Let me share a little thing with you. So you've done, your guys and you, from what I can gather, believe. I guess that's the key word, that like a special faith type thing happened, and you live to breathe another day. James, have you ever heard of something called a Buddhist angel?
I have not, but I would be interested in hearing
A
that.
Buddhist angel is someone that you think is a jerk, and they're sent here to teach us how not to go about things.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know those jerks you
That
spoke
is great.
about? They're Buddhist angels.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that is great that you said that. You know, I guess you're, you know, I don't guess, I know you're right. You know, you look at, you know, the best teacher in how not to be is to see somebody doing something that you know is wrong. You know, you watch these things that occur, things that we would have never thought of, you know, as we were growing up. And you know, and I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and you know, by the 90s and the 2000s, you know, look, I'm a grown man, and I've got kids, but I've never seen, and I don't want to sound, you know, too negative here, but I've never seen a time when there's been such a lack of respect for just basic humanity and civility. I don't think I've ever seen a time when it's been as it is now. And I don't know what creates that, other than a lack of the family unit, a lack of faith. Because honestly, if you walk through life and you think that this is all you've got is this life, why not? You know, YOLO, you only live once. Well, you know, in some cases, people, that's right. You'll only live once, because the next death will be that immortal soul, you know. And I'm a firm believer that, you know, how we live our life today, and not just talk about our faith, but how we live it and demonstrate it. It's extremely important to me, and this is coming from a guy that didn't always believe that way. You know, I always had belief in God, and had the faith system, a Christian faith system, but there were times when I definitely wasn't doing the things that I should be doing, and obviously, you know, lived a very hard life because of it. And I can always go back and say, well, that's, you know, I was just doing what I was trained to do. You know, there's a big difference in doing what you're trained to do and taking pleasure in what you're trained to do. And there was a specific time in this second go around when I went to combat where there was no pleasure in any of that. You know, now the first time was different. This time, there was no pleasure in it, and I think that I became very much closer. And it just seemed like it was all driven by these kind of experiences, by the losses, and you know, the Buddhist angel. Isn't that crazy? That's awesome. I'm glad you told me about that. I'm gonna have, and it's called a Buddha angel. Is that what is that? Did I pronounce that
No, it's
right?
a Buddhist angel. They're people that are, well, they say they're sent here to show us how not to go about things. And once you
Mm,
hear it,
mm.
you see people and stuff, and you go, Buddhist angel. So it's quite an enjoyable thing, and it's fun, and it kind of it's a different kind of aspect to an angel. It's just because you said the word angel, I thought, oh, that might be quite interesting. I'm starting to worry I'm sucking up a lot of the room here. Does